Boom, boom. This is Ken, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a little bit of Azur Lane. So we have finally got phase 2 of the Occult to Arms Sardinia Empire event. It is called, I think I'm not pretty, Aquilifer's Ballade, I think. It could be Ballade, but at that E at the end of it, I think it's going to make the pronunciation a little. So it's Aquilifer's Ballade, okay? That is the phase 2. That's what it's called. So we do have the event. Sorties are up. Of course, we only have the A chapter at this point. It'll be another 21 hours before the rest of the levels are introduced, so we'll have to wait for that. I've already had and cleared these out. Story is exceedingly interesting at this point. So, I don't want to spoil any of it, but it's very interesting. A little bit of comedy, a little bit of a mystery, okay? So things are starting to come together. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of it plays out. And it will be fun. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here in terms of other forms of the event. So we've got Aquilifer's Ballade. This is the exchange sortie and build. Okay, the build's pretty simple. We've got Roma. We got Giuseppe Garibaldi, Alfred Oriani, Leonardo da Vinci, and Bolzano are the ships. SR, Oriani, and Bolzano are actually elite ships. So, but these three are good. Giuseppe Garibaldi is in the shop, so you'll be able to get her fairly easy. Should not have much in trouble of obtaining her. All right, there is Giuseppe. Nothing else inside of the shop out of the ordinary. Cognitive arrays. You want to get the chips, all the parts, blueprints. Just standard format. There's absolutely nothing in here that's different. But it's nice to have an SR ship inside of the actual shop. Okay, so that is what we got in terms of that. So you want to focus on that as well. Now, in terms of many events, we've got a little phase right here. This will get your hands on Pisagno. She is at, of course, 10,000, as is always. So you'll be able to see her there at 10,000. Then you'll be able to get another copy at 20, another copy at 40. And a final copy at 60,000. So work through it, So as you collect the rewards, you'll be able to use them. It's the same. It's as you do that and move through, you get the commemorative coins. Now, we've also got a login bonus. Now, when you logged on today, you'll get a skin for Tehu. This is just a rental outfit voucher. So this is actually not giving you the actual skin forever. It's a rental outfit voucher. Okay, so I assume that they'll be reclaiming it at the end of standard voucher format. If you look at the rental outfits, it's right here. So this is what you get. So I assume that will be collected at the end. No idea what's going to be at the second ones, but this is just a login reward. It's only for 3 days, it looks like. Okay. So just make sure that you do log on to get the rewards, okay? Call to Arms, this is actually that. We need 3,000 points. This is, of course, maintained through the Missions tab. You need to, as we've been saying in all the previous videos, you could run those ships that you just spent time on with the plus 20 experience are now usable. So, Chen Ha can be used in A2C2, okay? Joffre, A3C3. Sheffield, B2D2, and Prince Eugen, B3D3. Okay, so those are the ones. So you need to use those ships inside of that particular sortie level. Must be fully limit broke, and they must survive. It says right here, defeat the boss 10 times with max limit breaks. So they need to be 70 fully limit broke. She must be in the fleet, and she must remain afloat, which means she must not sink, so she must survive. That's the requirements. Okay, now as we can see from this right here, those are the bonus points. These 4 are 1, 2, 3, 4. These are bonus points. These are the actual ships. You got Roma, Giuseppe, Leonardo da Vinci, Pisagno, Ariano, Bolzano. So these are all of the ships that you need to get and fully limit broken. As you do that, you get the points. If you come up short on ships, that's what the bonus points right here are for. So I would suggest that you run those ships in that particular fleet until you want to get it. Just to make sure. Okay, you'll have plenty of time to get done. You don't have to do it right now. But I've already got Joffrey. I'm working on leveling Joffrey up, so she's in my fleet right now. I did not put Chenna on A2 simply because I'm using a Vanguard fleet. Both of my Vanguard fleets are HMS right now because I'm working on priority ship Plymouth. So to do that, you need to use HMS Royal Navy ships in your fleets. So that's why I've got my secondary fleet is all comprised of Royal Navy ships, and the Vanguard, the other one. And I got some strongers in the back line. I'm going to need stronger ships as you get through. Really not right now. A2, B2, pretty simple. C and D, you're going to have to start putting in a little bit of ships. Got a little bit of power, but my back line will take care of that. And most of the ships I'm using are at 100 anyway, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. But I prefer to utilize ships that I'm working on, limiting, ships that are not fully broke yet. You want to get all your ships up to 120 eventually. So that's what I do. So it saves, you limit them up, but at the same time, you're completing the events. So that's, multitasking. But that's how you get the points right here. And you need 3,000. So just, do the math. But if, the actual build, you might get them all, you might not. Okay. I've got 317, so I'm going to go for them. Okay, I want to try to get them, all of them. But you have to be careful. You don't want to throw too many wisdom cubes at it. So I prefer to just, pull normally until I'm halfway through the event. Then I'll throw, a couple double pulls in there, maybe 10 or so. And then towards the end, and then at the very end, based on what I haven't got, is when I'll try to do the pools. It's RNG, guys. I mean, come on. You might get it, you might not. There's really, Giuseppe's really the only one you're guaranteed to get because she's in the shop. But the rates are up on these, so you should be able to get it if you pull enough times. But just remember that you need to make sure that you have enough for a pity for the next UR ship that comes out. If you don't have enough for the pity, and then a UR ship comes out, and you don't pull it, you don't get the UR ship. So you have to keep that in mind. So, I'll do pool. I'm willing to go, pretty far, pretty deep to get them if I need to. Okay. So let's go ahead and do, we'll go ahead and do a 10 pool real quick here. And I'll consider this the pool that I normally do inside of the actual thing. So if you take a look at a 10 pool, is going to use 15,000 coins and 20 wisdom cubes. So as you can see, it can be pretty deep into there. And we'll just see what you get. Okay, I pulled Roma. As you can see, the rates are pretty darn good. I'm not exactly sure what they're at this point. Okay, I got Oriato, so that's another one. Run out of ships. What I do is in the favorites, I stick ship that needs to be enhanced, and I just throw them in the favorite. She's already maxed out. Fill. And I just run through them. I make sure you have a regular ship in here as well as a carrier, so that you can utilize some of the aviation ships. And this is how I actually do my enhancements. The rest of these are going to be builds. I'm going to have to retire them. But let's go ahead and do the finish pools on this. Okay, so we got Nevada, and we got Nelson, and we got Houston. So we got 2 of the ships that we need. We got Roma, we got Oriana, and we'll have Giuseppe. So basically, Da Vinci and Bolzano are the 2 that I need to go for. So that's pretty good on just two pools. So you see, it's luck, guys. I mean, you can have good luck. That was pretty good luck at a 10 pool getting 2 of the ships. I noticed a lot of time if I do have good luck pulling the ships, I tend to duplicate quite a bit, which is why I do not waste my bullens. Okay, I won't fully limit break a ship until the last day or 2 of the event, and then I'll have them by 70 by then. As I get a ship, I put it in the dorm, and I might run it in sorties depending on what my plan is for the ship. And I'll stick it in the dorm, and I'll just let it earn. And by the time the end of the event rolls around, it's usually pretty close to 60. I can usually use XP data packs to finish it up to 70 and then fully limit break it. But I don't like to waste my bullets because you might not need to. If you get duplicates, you can use duplicates for the limit breaking as well. Why waste a bullet when you can just use a copy of the ship? That copy of the ship is useless. After a ship is fully limit broke, if you get another copy of the ship, you just basically have to retire it, because at this point in time, there's nothing in the game where you can trade in those ships to get blueprints or anything else for another ship. So basically, you just have to retire it. Okay, I mean, I got a copy of Shinano, completely useless to me. I had to retire because they didn't need it for anything. So that's where we're at. So yeah, this is what we got. Okay, so keep that in mind. That there's really no use limit breaking it until towards the end of the event. Now, the shop will be open for 7 days after the event ends. Okay, the event is going to end on the 10th. However, the mission tab, these missions will not go away until the 17th. So what happens is, don't buy Garibaldi inside of the shop yet. Do not buy Garibaldi until you have finished all of your pools for the event. There's no use wasting 8,000 commemorative coins if you pull her. Just use bullets to level her up. You don't need to use unless you're going to be running the event to the point where you're out of oil all the time. You could probably get enough for buying a ship in here. You're going to need, if you want to get her, you're going to probably need about between 40 and 45,000 coins to get everything inside of here that you want if you have to buy her. You can get by with probably between 35 and 40 if you're not going to get her. So I wait until the last day. The day after the event sorties and the build disappears is when I pull her if I need her. If I haven't gotten her by that time, I purchase her inside of the shop. Okay, but then you have 7 days to get her up to 70, and that's not difficult. Okay, with data packs, you shouldn't have any trouble whatsoever. I mean, I have got I think 2,500 is the max that you could run. I think that's the max that you could run inside of lecture hall. I think 2,500 is the maximum that you can get. So I have all those tickets. I don't need to level up. So I'll get her, put her in the shop, and then when it, towards the end of the event, a day or two before the event's going to close, I'll use data packs to finish her off and finish off any of the other ships that might not be at 70, and then fully limit break them. I plan to use a couple of the ships. There's a couple of ships that I wanted to test out. We'll talk about that a little bit later in some other videos. But for, Roma was one of them. I do really like her. Really do like her design. She's got an excellent design. So she was one of the ships that I wanted to test out as well too. So right here. So we'll have to take that. I do like the fact some of her, when this ship fires your main guns, damage is based. If this barrage fails to activate, the salvo deals 10% increased damage and slows enemies by 15% for 5 seconds. I'm not particularly too fond about the time, but I do like the fact that it does slows enemies. Anytime you can get that, it could be useful in a boss fight. And then you got Veni Vidi Vici. Okay, okay, every 20 seconds performs a sonar scan that reveals enemy subs for 8 seconds. This is very important. This is an in-game ship. Okay, this is an exceedingly important skill, and it's got level 14 written all over it, level 13, level 14 written all over it, because there are subs in that, and those subs are not, you find them the hard way. So it's nice to be able to detect them. Okay, and increases the ship's crit rate and crit damage. And it can be stacked up 3 times every time it sinks an enemy. So it's got some potential. And then Exalted Light. Well, this ship, okay, decreases the enemy's torpedo by 3.5%. This is what gives this ship interesting. There's very few ships that have a direct torpedo decrease, and that's the reason this ship might disrupt the meta a little bit. The PvP meta is currently based on your front line eliminating most of the other team's Vanguard, very fast with what? Torpedoes. Now we've got a ship that has the ability to decrease the enemy's torpedo by 3.5%, and that's at 1. That is dynamic, so that's going to go up. We can conceivably see that at 15 to 20%. That's big. Okay. If there are 3 or more Sardinia Empire ships in your fleet, decreases the loading time of the ship's first main gun volley by 30%. So you're going to get off a shot 30% faster, which makes her, she has, well, of course, it sounds really good, okay? But as I've said hundreds of times on numerous videos, paper and reality differ. We've had ships that on paper sounded awesome, got them in there, used them, they totally sucked. And then we've had ships that on paper sounded horrible, put them in there, and they are just amazing. So you can't really do anything until you actually get the ship up, put it in there, test it out, do the math. And we'll have to see what if she does disrupt the meta a little bit in terms of a possible counter for the torpedo heavy PvP, which is currently meta right now, for your front line. That's what you should be running. You should be able to easily get very high up in your PvP if you're currently running that, because it pretty much does, it does pretty much everything that you need to do. Okay. Basically, you've got Duka, you've got Shimikatsu, and you've got Nushira. Nushira should be replaced with Anchorage, which is a priority ship. And there, she does torpedo damage, and she's a lot more tankier. And in the background, you've got Jersey, Benito, and you've got Aquilifer. So this is the current meta for the PvP. I'm serious. This ship, I have no problem beating fleets that are in 16. Okay, and I go through fleets that are, say, running pretty fast. The only time I really actually lose is if I'm going up against another team of similar composition, and then sometimes you lose, And when it gets right down to that, it's min-maxing at that point, and somebody might be a little bit min-maxed better than you are. So, but yeah, so that she seriously has the ability to put some disruption into PvP. So we'll have to see whether or not it's worth it, because if you want to put her in your fleet to counter it, I mean, if she can only be used to counter the standard torpedo build, then you're not going to put her in. That's nice, but if it's only torpedoes that she does, but the fact that she's got other stuff makes her a little bit. So she might be able to sneak around. I don't think so, but some of the people that are talking about that she might have some entrance. She will, of course, be tested out. And if there is an update to the meta on PvP, we'll let you know. But I don't think it has potential. But like I say, on paper, it sounds like it might be useful. But there's not a whole lot of people who can run that PvP build that we just think, because that's there's several ships in there that take a little while to level up. You got to get them to 125. You got to get max equipment on them. You got to get level skills. So it takes a little while to do that. And especially Anchorage. Anchorage is a priority ship. I do have her. She's fully maxed almost. Her skills are maxed. I've got her fully equipment. I've got max enhancement. Everything's ready. I'm just waiting for her to get to 125. And once she does, then I'll be moving her in. And she'll be replacing Nushiro in my front line. Okay, so that's where we're at that point. But yeah, so it is up. So get in there and start running the levels. You can only run A for right now. B, C, D, rubber release tomorrow. And we can start playing with those. But yeah, so they got some good ships. So get in there, pull away, try to get a ball. Okay, and if you do manage to do that, then you don't need to worry about purchasing Giuseppe inside of the shop. So we do hope, we want to build her. That would be the best way to go about it. Yeah, got Roba, I got Oriana. So Leonardo da Vinci looks like she's going to be pretty cool too. All of these are playing a big part in the story, I think. Da Vinci and Oriana are very big, and Roma are big inside of A1. She starts it out. These two, it seems to be focusing on these two as of right now. Okay, and the ship inside of the actual mini event. Right here. Besides, she's in there as well too. So those 3 ships are primary inside of South Versa. So I assume as B, C, and D goes on, we'll start seeing some of the other ships take form, and we'll have to see how it goes. But it looks like it's a very interesting story. It's got everything in it. Azur, they tell a great story here, guys. That's a big part of why people like to play the game. It's because they have a really, really enticing story. Very, 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 very good world scope and world picture. So that's what makes it interesting. So we'll have to see. But it sounds very interesting so far, and I can't wait to get into the rest of it. So we'll have a video in a few more days after we've done some more building and some more stuff like that. Maybe have an update on the PvP. We'll also take a look at how the story's going, as well as some of the ship skills and whatnot. But yeah, Roma looks like she's definitely going to be something interesting. Even if she doesn't do PvP, she'll be very, very useful in the later skill levels where you start encountering enemy subs. So that will be something very nice as well. All right, so that's all I got. So remember to subscribe to the channel. Once you've subscribed, you'll see the bell. Click on it. You get notified each time I drop a video. Thanks a lot for watching the video. This is Kenrier coming at you from the corner, signing out.